Well, a good afternoon from the Mass Premier Courts here in Foxborough, Massachusetts, the AAU Super Regional, and we've got ourselves some great basketball on tap. Alongside Christina Battistini, I'm Mike Rubin. It's great to be with you inside this huge gym. There were so many teams here, more than 70 overall, Christina, and we're down to the final four here in this 11th grade bracket. We've got a great game in store.
Well, they're all here today so they can qualify for the AAU National Championships, which are taking place in Orlando, Florida. So they really have something to play for.
These two teams have already qualified, but they're playing for a championship here. We're going to see the Middlesex Magic and the Mass Premier Elite. Some players who are actually familiar with each other from the high school ranks, when they get out here, they're trying to see how they match up against the very best.
Well, in theory, this is elite basketball. These are some of the best players from this region. They're playing against each other. Every single state except Vermont from New England is here today at this tournament. And this is a chance for them to showcase their skills. There are a lot of college coaches here in attendance, mostly Division III academic schools, but every single one of these players wants to play at the next level.
They're going to get a chance to showcase those skills in just a couple of moments, as we will have the Mass Premier Elite Middlesex Magic semifinal match here in the gold division of the grade 11 tournament. It's the Super Regional AAU, and it's coming up next here on Cox Sports. Well, welcome back inside the Mass Premier Courts here in Foxborough, Massachusetts, alongside Christina Battistini and our entire Cox Sports crew. I'm Mike Rubin, and we've got a matchup of blue and white out here. The Middlesex Magic and the Mass Premier Elite, and we'll get ourselves a look at the starting lineups. They're about to tip this one up in just a second. We'll start with the Middlesex Magic. They're wearing all blue with white numerals and white trim. Looks like it's Sam Casey, Aiden James, Andre Ruff, Adam Quinlan, and Phil Liostakos. For head coach Chris Giordano, himself a graduate of the Middlesex Magic program, and the head coach now in his third season also at Riviere College. So a basketball lifer is Coach Giordano, to say the least. And they'll tip it up, and we are underway. Coming down with the ball is Rocky DeAndrade. Swings it off to Timothy Walsh. Three-pointer on the way is no good. Rebound called in by Adam Quinlan, and Middlesex will work back up. They're working the ball right to left. Mass Premier Elites starters, we'll run them down in just a second. Scott Arsenal defending against Sam Casey running the point. He'll drop it off for Aiden James. Also on the court, Timothy Walsh, as the jumper is up and good. Three-pointer for Sam Casey. Middlesex takes an early 3-0 lead.
That's the one thing that was said about these two teams prior to this game, is that they don't play typical AAU basketball. And what I mean by that is that these teams really like to pass the basketball. They make the extra pass. They look to shoot from the outside, when frequently in this tournament, like basketball, you see a lot of drives to the basket, a lot of one-on-one play. But I think today in this game, we're going to see a lot of team play.
So Mass Premier Elite, they've got Rocky DeAndrade, Scott Arsenal, Timothy Walsh, Kevin Connor. Jump shot from the corner is up and good, and an early 5-0 lead right off the bat for the Middlesex Magic. They're coming into the game at a 7-2 record, and ball dished. Connor goes to the glass, can't get it to fall. Ball batted around a bit by Adam Quinlan. Neglected to mention Jimmy Lehman, the last of the starting five for the Mass Premier, who come up with the steal. They tried to go underneath the Connor. Ball bounces around. It'll be brought back down by Walsh. They'll swing it around. Lehman jump shot on the way, no good. Rebound hauled in by Liostakos, and still 5-0. Mass Premier trailing Middlesex. Liostakos, well, look at it. A half-court violation, I think. I don't think he got it over in time. 5-second rule in effect. Yep. That is the call, and we'll see a second turnover early on. One aside, I should say. With the ball that Connor plays his high school ball locally right down the road at Mansfield High School. There's a couple of Mansfield products for Mass Premier Elite. Back outside, Lehman drives, gets to the corner of the paint, back out for Walsh. Walsh drives in, interior, bounces it back out for Lehman. They'll swing it out for Arsenault. His front rim no good. Lehman trying to track down the rebound, but he was out of bounds. Mass Premier Elite, pretty locally driven side. You got DeAndre out of Mansfield, Lehman's out of King Philip, Arsenault from Walpole, Timothy Walsh, Attleboro, and Connor also from Mansfield from their starting five.
And their head coach, Mike Vaughn, is the varsity boys coach at Mansfield High School. Led his team this last year to the state championship game, ended up losing in overtime by only 2 points. But you'll see the point guard from Mansfield High School bringing the ball up right now. That's Rocky DeAndre, number 3.
Finds Arsenault, the early hole for the Mass Premier squad. They're down 7-0. Lehman almost threw it away. Back over, jumper on the way from Timothy Walsh, no good. Good inside presence from Scott Arsenault. It's Santarpio on the offensive glass, and he's going to go to the free throw line. He'll be shooting a pair. Tarpio had just checked in for Connor that last turn after the turnover. So he'll be shooting a pair, trying to get Mass Premier on the board, and makes his first free throw.
Santarpio is actually the leader in assists for Miss High School, Attleboro High School this year. Looks like a taller guard, but we saw him nice offensive rebounding, but apparently he's a very good distributor of the basketball as well.
Well, makes both free throws. Part of the game, talking a lot, I know, to some of the other guys that do some of the college games, it is something that is oftentimes neglected by the high school level players. There's another turnover by Middlesex. DeAndre bombs away and bottom of the net. Nice looking shot there by DeAndre. First field goal of the game, but a 5-0 run for Mass Premier has them back within 2.
Well, Mass Premier Elite, they're not used to losing. This year they're 8-1 so far. They've had a successful AU program, and they've qualified for the Nationals before, but they've opted not to attend. And this year, as we mentioned in Open, they have qualified for the AU Nationals in Orlando, the Division I AU Nationals, and this is the year that they are going to go. Apparently, they've planned it for years. The parents got together. The organization decided that when these boys reach the 17U level, that's when they will go to the Nationals. And they've worked hard. They've really earned it.
Quinlan was called for the offensive foul. Another turnover. And it's turned to the corner for Lehman. Walked the tightrope on the near sideline. Nice dish underneath. Santarpio, bounce pass back out. DeAndre up top. And he'll back it out. Looks to his left. Finds Santarpio. He'll drive. Picked up on the double. Has Lehman back up top. And he'll swing it for Walsh. Walsh driving in. Pulls up off the glass. And banks open on Sunday. Tied at 7. 7-0 run for each side, and we're all tied up.
Timothy Walsh, nice take to the basket, like his body control on that pull-up jumper. He's got 682 career points out of Attleboro High School, so they're hoping that he will break the 1,000 point mark as a senior next year.
Great program down there for the Blue Bombers, I believe Attleboro is. As the ball is dished back outside, the three-pointer on the way is short, might have been partially blocked. And Arsenault the rebound, back for DeAndre. Chance to take the lead for the first time. DeAndre to the corner, Arsenault there. He lets a jumper fly short. Rebound tracked down by Andre Ruff. Ruff brings it quickly into the forecourt and dishes for Jack Carl. Carl traveled, saw him pick up the pivot foot. And he didn't like the call, but it was pretty apparent. Another couple changes as Jake Howell will check in for the Magic, as will Josh Chochin out of Somerville, Massachusetts.
Now, that's one thing I noticed about this boys AU tournament so far. They have 3 referees, and you rarely see that in AU tournaments. Normally you either see 1 or 2, but obviously this is super regionals. They want to make sure that this game is well officiated, and it's like college-style refereeing.
Three-pointer from the corner from Alex Natoji's good, and it's answered. The other Aiden James, he has 5 of Middlesex's 10, and we're tied at 10. Natoji's 3 had given a quick lead for Mass Premier, but there's a foul off the ball, and I think it was against Santarpio. His first, team first, and we're tied at 10. The ball back in the hands of the Magic. To the corner, James drives the baseline, dish underneath, bats around, Howell comes up with it, turns it off to the wing. Carl's jumper on the way, no good. Rebound, DeAndre has Natoji in the corner, and now will back it off and run the half-court offense. Will DeAndre, he'll take it himself from way downtown, Jokin, the rebound. Howell, or rather Carl, to the wing. James, jumper, no good. Rebound underneath, hauled in by Jokin. They'll say it was tied up and we'll have a jump ball with the score tied at 10. A couple subs checking in and out for Mass Premier.
You see the pace of this game picking up a little bit. It looks like Middlesex Magic really wants to push the ball in transition. They're taking quicker shots now than they have in the first few minutes of this ball game.
That shot's up and good, and it's a 12-10 game again. Mass Premier had a very quick lead. It's a 7-0 open for the Magic, driving the baseline. Quick take into the iron for Timothy Walsh.
Nice take by Tim Walsh. Caught the ball on the baseline, and he read his defender really well. The defender came late to try to intercept the pass, so all it was a quick rip-through, baseline drive into a power move. Nicely executed.
Ball over for Howell. Uses the screen, gets to the free throw line, dishes to Ruff, and Ruff traveled. Calling that one tight today.
They are. I mean, I said that earlier. I mean, it's very rare to see 3 referees at an AAU tournament, and it's very rare to see good officiating at an AAU tournament. And so far, it looks like Mass Premier and the Super Regionals and AAU organization, they've done a very good job of keeping these games at a high level with these good with these good officials.
Natoji for Walsh. He'll drive, dishes back out, has the ball picked off by Carl. Carl underneath, and fouled on his way up was Lincoln Sudbury's Sam Casey. He'll be going to the free throw line for a pair.
And it's the second time in at least, I would say, 2 out of 3 possessions where Middlesex has gotten the defensive rebound, and they've gotten straight to the rim on their fast break, so that they're really looking to get out and run, and Mass Premier has not gotten back to stop the ball defensively.
Walsh will check out in favor of Arsenal as Casey will attempt his second from the line, and it rattles out. Rebound near side. It's going to be Mass Premier basketball. I think it was last touched by Jake Howell. 13-12. We've had 4 lead changes early in this one. Austin Burlone, I'm sorry, that's Chris Rogers with the basketball for Natoji. Back up, finds Wisniewski, and he traveled as well. Got a lot of turnovers early on. Sometimes it's just, I think the body executing a little bit quicker than the mind.
I think that's the nature of AAU basketball, where a lot of these teams, they don't get to practice a lot. So some of these guys will play 80 to 100 games this spring and this summer. However, in that time period, they're only going to practice once or twice a week. And most of the time, at least the experience I've had with AAU basketball out of Rhode Island, it's very tough to get AAU players to attend a practice in week. I mean, we're looking at an AAU team that encompasses Attleboro, Bishop Fee, and King Philip, Walpole, Mansfield, Franklin. Now, while some of these areas are close together, these kids still have to drive a little bit to attend these AAU practices. So AAU right now is turned into low on practice, but high on game volume.
Nice turn underneath by Liatsakos, but couldn't get it to fall. Back the other way comes Mass Premier with Chris Rogers running the point. Looks to his right, feeds it to the corner. Arsenal there, back up top, finds Wisniewski, goes underneath the coat. Natoji keeps it moving to the corner, 3-pointer, rattles in and out. Liatsakos the rebound. Middlesex with the basketball. Sam Casey drives, goes off the glass, and he has 6 points. Lead back to 3 for Middlesex Magic. About halfway through this first half. Ball's in the corner, and blocking the call with that will step aside as well with the score, 15-12, AAU Super Regional from here in Foxborough. Well, welcome back, folks. Great to have you with us inside the Mass Premier Courts in Foxborough, Massachusetts. AAU Super Regional, as the jumper from Rocky DeAndrade is off its mark. Jake Howell, the rebound.
Well, it's a nice read by Rocky DeAndrade. He didn't make that three-point shot, but he came off the down screen and recognized that the defense was cheating, and he just flared to the corner. That's how he got himself open.
DeAndrade dishes, a little bit out of control there was Wisniewski, and it's played back up. Nice ball movement, Liatsakos back over. Casey keeps it moving. Jumper on the way is short from Jack Urquhart. Rebound, Scott Arsenal. He finds DeAndrade, who will slow things down. Been 4 times down the court for Mass Premier without a basket. Austin Berlone moves it over to the corner via DeAndrade. With the basketball is Wisniewski. Comes back for Berlone, and now back over to the corner for Arsenal. Moves it for Kevin Connor. He drives the paint, dishes back out. DeAndrade for 3, in and out, no good. Urquhart, the rebound.
Again, Mass Premier Elite, they're getting good shots on the offensive end. They're getting open looks from 3. They just ran a nice set where they had a double staggered screen for a shooter. And you don't see that a lot in AAU. You don't see a lot of, quick hits set up. Mostly it's penetrate and pitch, get to the basket, try to beat your man one-on-one, but this Mass Premier team really distributes the ball well.
Now keep in mind there are some players on this, well, first of all, Mass Premier with 3 players who play together at Mansfield, another from Franklin, another from King Philip, another from Foxborough. Means they're all in the same league in high school basketball, the Hockomock League, which spans basically Route 95 from the Rhode Island border up a little bit, 495 up to Milford now, and up as far, I believe, as Canton and Sharon, as that ball hits the front iron and bounces away. So players who are familiar with each other beyond the AAU ranks. Ball underneath, nice look. Liatsakos catch, turn, shoot, no good. Rebound, DeAndrade. He's going 1-on-3, takes it himself, throws it up. No good, but he's going to the line.
That was a nice play by DeAndrade. Looks like he really didn't have much going on as he was coming down the court, and then he saw at the last second his ability to split those 2 defenders and kind of cut to the basket to the right. So nice play by the Mansfield High School starting point guard.
And a bit unlucky in terms of the rim with his first free throw attempt. Still 15-12. It's been stuck on 12 if you're a fan of the Mass Premier side for a while. And the second shot is up, and it is good. There's that Andre Ruff driving, tries to get around Walsh, who's back into the game. The take from James, no good. Gets his own rebound, nice follow up off the glass, and gets the fall. He has 7. Good hustle play there by Aiden James.
No doubt. I mean, you a lot of times see players who go in, they miss a layup, they put their head down. But Aiden James on that possession stayed with it. He was very, very quick jumping, getting to the basketball, used a nice pump fake down low to get the defender off balance.
James for Liatsakos, the take to the baseline, and he's on the board, the lead back to 6. It was 7-0 Middlesex Magic early, and timeout. Mass Premier will take one as well with the score 19-13 first half from Foxborough. Welcome back, folks, inside the Mass Premier courts here in Foxborough, Massachusetts. The Mass Premier Elite side trailing by 6 to the Middlesex Magic. Drive, the take by Connor, dishes back outside. No good. Jochin goes up high for the rebound, brings it down for Aiden James. James, the take, pulls on the brakes, pulls up and gets it to fall. James putting on a clinic here early. He has 9 points, almost half of this output for his Middlesex Magic squad. And it's an 8-point lead, and they're going to draw a turnover. There's a foul off the ball, I believe, against Connor for an illegal screen. It'll be the 3rd team foul against Mass Premier. And a chance to extend what is the largest lead of the game. The game of ebbs and flows. It was a 7-0 run for Middlesex to start the game, then a 7-0, actually a 10-0 run the other way. As that take by Ruff is good. since that 10-0 run, it is a 16-3 run for the Middlesex Magic, who are on fire.
I think a couple things have happened in that time period. One, Middlesex, they started to rebound the ball better. So they're getting every single defensive rebound. Mass Premier Elite, they're taking one shot and they're done. They're also getting called for a couple moving screens, and you just saw a tough turnover way outside. You never want to turn the ball over 20 feet from the basket. You're definitely going to give up a layup with a pass like that.
Liatsakos took it and jammed it home. Bent the rim in the process. That was my textbook move.
Was that you back in the day?
The 6-foot plastic rim.
I was wondering where you were going with. But I thought you were a jumper, though.
I was a jumper in high school as a track athlete.
Right.
Yeah, horizontally though. No, I wasn't much for the high jump.
There was no vertical?
No. Oh, well, yeah, there was, just that of a rock.
Was it triple jump or long jump?
I was a triple jumper.
I thought I remember that.
Triple jumper, yeah. Not a bad triple jumper. It was odd because I wasn't much the high jumper, but I figured out the triple jump pretty well.
This is how old I am. When I was in high school in Rhode Island, girls were not allowed to triple jump.
They called the hop, skip, and the jump probably in those days. I think Middlesex wants timeout, and we're going to take one too with 3:11 left here in this first half. Mass Premier trying to solve their offensive woes. We're back after this. And we're back with the score 25-13 and an 8-0 run. James tried to make it 11 and does. And it is 28-13. And boy, that's a sign the bounces are going your way, huh, Christina?
Absolutely. And that thing hit the rim, probably went up about 1.5 feet. But what I like that Middlesex is doing, they're keeping their offense very simple. All it is a down screen for the wing. The wing catches the basketball coming off that screen, and they allow him to read the defense. And that time, Aiden James was open off the catch for the simple three-point shot. And he did get a little rim love on that one. Like bounce, bounce, bounce. But that's the beauty of having backspin on your shot. That's why coaches spend hours trying to get kids to release the ball the correct way.
Lehman off to Toji in. Jumper from DeAndre stops the bleeding. Big jumper for him. He has 7. And finally, Mass Premier Elite back on the board, running the point. Andre Ruff, the Lowell High School product, backs it off, throws it underneath, the turn, the pivot, the dish. Casey from outside, can't get it to fall. Grabbing down the rebound, Natoji ahead for DeAndre, he'll run. Good transition defense there by the Middlesex Magic. Jumper from DeAndre, no good. Underneath, trying to track down the rebound was Arsenal, but taking it away was Sam Casey. And the Middlesex Magic will get back to work with inside a couple of minutes left here in this first half. Andre Ruff almost, well, he did lose the basketball. Rogers pushes it ahead. Natoji takes it hard, loses the basketball. Howell pushes it ahead, and here comes Casey. Casey 1-on-2, the dish, and no good on the finish. The punch back by Jake Howell.
I'll tell you, Middlesex Magic, they are very effective in transition. They push the ball up, they make that extra pass.
And speaking of friendly bounces, Timothy Walsh gets one there for his 3-ball side pocket, and lead cut to 11. 30-19. Winner of this one will play in the championship game of the 11th grade tournament. On the floor is Walsh. I think he's going to get called for a foul. It'll be the 4th team foul against Mass Premier Elite. That'll give an opportunity for Middlesex to check Jack Carl back into the game for Sam Casey. Inbounding underneath his own basket was James. It comes out to Carl. Milton Academy product. Good defense. Back to the corner. Now Howell takes the jumper. It's short. Natoji the rebound. Finds Chris Rogers.
You know, Mike, in the second half, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit more pressing. Particularly the Middlesex Magic team looks a little bit more athletic. They might be able to get up, kind of try to press this Mass Premier Elite team a little bit, push the tempo, get some shots off of their defense. That's one thing. Normally you see a lot more pressing defense in these AU tournaments, and both of these teams so far have been content to sit back and half-court man-to-man defense.
Kevin Connor is going to check back in for Scott Arsenal. DeAndre is going to be shooting the 1-and-1. It was not a shooting foul. Officials very clear on that. As DeAndre, he took a shot, but it was after the contact. So he's shooting 1-and-1. First shot is up, and he'll get the bonus. A little bit of a run here for Mass Premier. They were down 28-13. Now it's 30-20 with potentially 21. No good. Jochin the rebound. Here's Sam Casey. About 40 seconds left here in the half. Finds Aiden James, put on a scoring clinic. Takes a little runner, no good. Nice rebound underneath, taken away by Connor, and they'll get a foul underneath. I think against Jochin, Josh Jochin, the Somerville Mass native. I think he's getting the call, and that's going to put Connor on the free throw line. Still shooting 1-and-1. Next one will be the double bonus.
And to your point about narrowing the score, a 10-point game in AAU basketball, that's a really close game. I mean, if you look at this score, 30-20, 17U boys high school game, that's a very low-scoring game, and we've seen Mass Premier in this first half. They missed a lot of open threes that they probably normally make. So I think when you get the three-point line and the fact that they didn't hit a lot of their shots in this first half, I think you might see in the second half this game get a little bit closer.
Magic are likely holding for the last shot with now 10 seconds left. They're not going to get it. That one's thrown away by Ruff. Aiden James would have had to have been about 7-2 to track that one down. The inbounds comes to Rogers, the Franklin Mass product. Gets to the baseline, no good. DeAndre, the rebound, has a couple of seconds, is short. Connor will go up, and he's stripped as the half comes to a close. So halftime of this semifinal game, the Middlesex Magic leading 30-20. We'll step aside. We'll be back with second half action. Middlesex Magic Mass Premier Elite from Foxborough, AAU Super Regionals, and it's here on Cox Sports. Second half, AAU Super Regional, Mass Premier Elite. They're wearing the home whites with the blue numerals, and the Middlesex Magic wearing the road blues and leading by 10. The take by Lehman, tried to dish to Connor, and it's pushed back to DeAndre. He finds Chris Rogers, now over again for Lehman. They'll swing it again. Rogers up top. Lehman looks like he wants to shoot. Pulls back and gets it to DeAndre. Working the basket to our left. Their coach is right in front of their own bench. Walsh had 7 first half points. Looks to make it 10 on the rocket. Gets another friendly bounce. He has the 10, and now just a 7-point game. And, you know, it's a quick half. There's not the time, say, like in a college game, Christina, where you're going in, you're making adjustments. I think you're really, like you said, this is all about game time and making the most of opportunities.
That's exactly what it is. And as I said in the first half, Mass Premier got a lot of good looks from the outside that they didn't convert on. And we see here in their first possession, I mean, that shot by Walsh, I think, hit the side of the rim. But it was able, because he had that good backswing we talked about earlier, the ball was able to roll in. And if they knock down a couple more threes, this game gets close. And once games get close, players start to play a little bit differently, and Middlesex might not be as loose in a closer game.
Oh, nice move on the strip and the take. Aiden James is going to get called for the charge. Nice job getting back by Lehman. Meanwhile, to go back a second ago, Phil Liatsakos, the BC High product, he's back on the bench because he has now 4 fouls, Christina. Big guy is Liatsakos. We saw him with that great jam on the take as the dish underneath. I think it caught Howell by surprise, and I think he walked. Yep.
To your point about Liatsakos, in the first half, I mean, we don't have the stats here to back it up, but to me it seemed like Middlesex Magic, they dominated the boards. They got every single defensive rebound. They were pretty productive on the offensive rebounds as well. And with Liatsakos on the bench, they're a smaller team, and I think that plays into Mass Premier Elite's hands a little bit.
Quinlan in the paint, tries to take and is fouled on the way up, I believe.